Ladies, I want you to take a moment and listen closely. There are things that men, in their deepest misunderstanding of respect, love, or pure human decency, often do to women that they absolutely should not. I'm talking about those moments when a woman feels small, unheard, or invisible. These are the actions that strip away her dignity, her confidence, and her sense of self-worth. Today, we are going to shine a light on those actions and declare them unacceptable. Because every woman deserves to walk through this world knowing her value. So let's talk about the one thing that many men don't realize they are doing, but it needs to stop immediately. The first thing men should never do is belittle a woman's voice, whether it's dismissing her ideas, ignoring her opinions, or talking over her in a conversation. This is the fastest way to drain a woman's confidence. Her words matter. Her thoughts have power. When men trivialize what she says or make her feel like her voice is just noise, they strip away the very foundation of her being. It's not just rude, it's disrespectful. A woman deserves to be heard. Every thought, every dream, every goal she speaks should be met with respect, understanding, and support. Another thing that should never ever happen is dismissing her emotions. Society has often taught men to fix problems, to offer solutions, to rationalize everything. But sometimes what a woman needs is not a fix, it's empathy, it's understanding. When a woman is going through something emotionally challenging, dismissing her feelings by saying things like, "You're overreacting," or "Just get over it," not only diminishes her emotional well-being, but it also invalidates her experience. Men, I need you to understand this. Emotions are not weaknesses. They are signs of a woman's depth, her compassion, and her human experience. Don't undermine them. Allow her to feel, allow her to express, be her strength when she feels vulnerable, not her judge when she needs support. But perhaps one of the most damaging things that any man can do to a woman is to try to control her life. Whether it's dictating who she can talk to, how she should dress, or making her choices for her. This behavior is rooted in the need for power over another person's autonomy. Women are not puppets to be manipulated. They are not property. The right to choose to make decisions that align with their values and desires is a basic human right. A woman should never have to answer to anyone for the way she chooses to live her life. Men, if you truly respect women, you must allow them the freedom to make their own choices and follow their own path without your interference, without your control. Then there's the betrayal of trust. Trust is sacred. When a woman places her trust in you, it's not just a casual act. It's an investment of her heart, her emotions, and her vulnerability. Betraying that trust, whether through dishonesty, infidelity, or breaking her confidence, is one of the deepest wounds you can inflict upon a woman. Trust is not something that should be toyed with or treated as if it's disposable. When you break that bond, you are not only hurting the woman you've wronged, but you're also showing a lack of integrity. And that lack of integrity will follow you, affecting all your relationships, not just with her, but with every woman you encounter. And let's talk about objectifying women. When men reduce women to their physical appearance or treat them as mere objects for their pleasure, it strips away the essence of who they are. A woman is so much more than her outward beauty. Her worth is not tied to her looks, and it's certainly not something to be judged, commented on, or exploited for anyone's satisfaction. A woman's body is hers, and no one has the right to speak about it in degrading ways, to stare at it as if she is an object, or to treat her as if her value is tied to her appearance. It's time we respect women as whole beings, intelligent, strong, compassionate, and capable, not just what we see on the outside. Finally, men must stop pretending to be something they are not in order to win a woman's affection. Women can see through this. They can see past the bravado, the showmanship, and the perfect version of who you think you should be. They crave authenticity. They want to know you, the real you, the man who has flaws, who has his own struggles, but who is also strong in his character and honest in his intentions. Women deserve someone who will be truthful, vulnerable, and sincere. No games, no pretenses, just honesty and real connection. These actions, belittling, dismissing emotions, controlling, betraying trust, objectifying, and pretending to be something you're not, are the things that should never, ever be done to a woman. Why? Because women are not here to serve anyone's ego or desires. They are not here to be diminished, controlled, or objectified. They are powerful, beautiful, and full of potential. And when a woman is treated with the respect she deserves, she can rise to heights that no one ever imagined. So, to all the men listening, I say this. If you want to be a part of a woman's life, be the kind of man who supports her, who builds her up, who sees her for everything she is and everything she can be. Don't do these things to her. Don't diminish her light. Let her shine. Because when you treat a woman with kindness, with respect, with love, this is how she will thrive. This is how she will believe in you. And this is how you will both grow together in a beautiful and supportive relationship. Respecting a woman's voice is not just about allowing her to speak. It is about valuing every word that leaves her lips as if it carries weight, purpose, and truth. So many times women are silenced, whether by cultural expectations, social norms, or even by the actions of the people around them. But when a woman speaks, she is expressing a piece of her soul, and it is vital that her voice is not only heard, but also acknowledged and respected. This is the foundation of true equality, mutual respect, and meaningful relationships, both personal and professional. From a young age, girls are often conditioned to hold back their opinions, to be polite, to not speak out of turn. Society teaches them that their voices are not as important as the voices of others, particularly those of men. This can come in the form of subtle cues or overtly dismissive behaviors, a simple, let's hear from the boys now, or a direct interruption when a woman is trying to speak can have a lasting impact. It sends the message that what she has to say does not matter. These early experiences can shape a woman's self-worth and her confidence to express herself later in life. If women are not taught that their words are valuable from the outset, they can carry this belief with them well into adulthood. Respecting a woman's voice goes beyond merely listening to her. It's about actively engaging with what she is saying and showing her that her words have meaning. When a woman shares an idea, a concern, a thought, or an emotion, she is offering something vulnerable and personal. When her words are dismissed, ignored, or even belittled, it invalidates her experience and undermines her confidence. A woman who is constantly ignored or talked over begins to doubt her own voice. She starts to wonder if her ideas are unimportant or if she is not worthy of being heard. There is a deep emotional toll that comes with constantly having to fight for a voice in a world that does not always give it freely. Women often find themselves in positions where they must work harder than their male counterparts to gain the same level of respect and attention. Think about a woman in a meeting at work. She pitches an idea, but it is quickly overlooked. Then moments later, a man says the same thing, and suddenly everyone is listening. It happens all the time, yet it is rarely addressed. In these situations, it is critical for everyone to recognize the behavior and make an effort to amplify the woman's voice. Respecting a woman's voice means recognizing the context in which she is speaking. Women, particularly women of color, are often given less space to speak up, especially when they are challenging existing structures or offering a dissenting opinion. The fact that women are expected to smile, to be pleasant, to avoid being too loud or too opinionated creates a paradox where a woman feels the need to hold herself back in order to fit into social expectation. The pressure to conform to these standards can make a woman feel isolated, misunderstood, and even invisible. But imagine a world where women did not have to dim their voices to fit into a predetermined mold. Imagine a space where women are allowed to speak freely, where their opinions are valued, and where their ideas are seen as powerful. This would change not only their personal experiences, but also the dynamics of society as a whole. When women's voices are amplified, society as a whole benefits. But women bring fresh perspectives, creativity, and solutions that can transform communities, organizations, and even nations. But in order for that to happen, they must be given the opportunity to speak and be heard without fear of judgment or backlash. One of the greatest ways to respect a woman's voice is to actively listen when she is speaking. Listening in this context goes beyond simply hearing the words. It involves giving full attention, showing understanding, and engaging with her thoughts and feelings. This requires patience, empathy, and an open mind. When a man listens to a woman with genuine interest and respect, it encourages her to keep sharing, to keep expressing herself. She begins to feel heard, and when she feels heard, she gains the confidence to continue speaking her truth. It is only when a woman feels truly respected in her conversations that she will begin to trust her voice and use it freely in all aspects of her life. But listening is not just about being quiet while a woman speaks. It's about validating her words through your response. Responding with respect and consideration shows that you understand her point of view and value what she has shared. For instance, if a woman expresses frustration about an issue at work, a simple acknowledgement like, "I see why that would upset you," or "that sounds challenging," goes a long way in letting her know her feelings and perspective are taken seriously. These small acts of validation make a big difference in how a woman perceives her worth and how she continues to engage in conversations. Unfortunately, the reality is that many men still have a tendency to talk over women, interrupt them mid-sentence, or belittle their ideas. This pattern is particularly harmful in professional settings where women are trying to establish their authority or make their voices heard in a male-dominated space. It creates an environment where women feel less than, where their contributions are constantly overlooked, and where their power is undermined. Women, in turn, may start to internalize these experiences, doubting whether they are truly capable or worthy of being in these spaces in the first place. The damage done to a woman's self-esteem and confidence by not being able to assert her voice can be profound. It's important for men and for society as a whole to understand the importance of breaking this cycle. To respect a woman's voice is to understand the weight it carries. It's understanding that a woman's experience, her perspective, and her contributions matter just as much as anyone else's. It means that when she speaks, she should be given the time and space to express herself fully, without the pressure of being cut off or minimized. It means showing patience and consideration, whether in a personal conversation or a professional meeting. The reality is that when women's voices are respected, the world becomes a better place for everyone. When women feel empowered to speak up, they become leaders, advocates, change makers, and role models. They create communities that are more inclusive, empathetic, and resilient. When women's voices are heard and respected, they can challenge the status quo, bring about necessary change, and inspire others to do the same. As men, it is crucial to recognize the role they play in making space for women's voices. It is about being allies, actively engaging in conversations, listening without judgment, and amplifying the voices of the women around them. Men must learn to step back at times, not to dominate a conversation, but to create an environment where a woman's thoughts and ideas can flourish. It is about making room for her voice, not just because it's the right thing to do, but because it is essential for a balanced, fair, and just society. Respecting a woman's voice is more than just hearing her words. It is about giving her the freedom to express herself authentically without fear of rejection, judgment, or interruption. It's about validating her thoughts, her emotions, and her contributions, and recognizing the power they hold. When a woman's voice is respected, she feels valued, she feels empowered, she feels like she has a place in this world, and that her presence matters. So men, it's time to take a step back and allow the women around you to speak. It's time to listen with empathy and understanding. It's time to respect her voice as the powerful tool it is. And when you do, you will not only be giving her the respect she deserves, but you will also be enriching your own life, relationships, and society as a whole. Empathizing with the woman's emotions is not just about offering comfort in times of distress. It is about understanding her feelings at a deep emotional level and responding in a way that makes her feel seen, heard, and validated. Too often, society expects women to suppress their emotions or to hide their vulnerability, creating an environment where many women feel the need to put on a mask, to pretend that everything is fine. even when it's not. Men especially may struggle with this concept, as they may not fully understand the emotional depth that women experience, or may feel uncomfortable with expressing or dealing with their emotions. But true emotional connection is built on empathy. And empathy is the key to fostering deep, meaningful, and supportive relationships. The first step to empathizing with a woman's emotions is recognizing that emotions are a natural and valid part of the human experience. Just as men feel anger, sadness, or joy, so too do women, and those emotions deserve the same level of understanding and respect. For many women, their emotions are a complex blend of biological, psychological, and social factors, which often reflect the various pressures and challenges they face in their daily lives. Society, for example, tends to place certain expectations on women, expectations to be perfect mothers, perfect partners, perfect professionals. These external pressures can build up over time, causing stress, anxiety, frustration, or sadness. When a woman is feeling overwhelmed or upset, the first thing she needs from those around her is empathy, not a quick solution or dismissal of her feelings. It is incredibly common for people, especially men, to jump straight into fix-it mode when they sense someone is in emotional distress. While this may come from a place of care and the desire to make things better, it often has the opposite effect. And women who is struggling emotionally does not always want immediate answers or solutions. What she often needs is someone to listen, to allow her to process her emotions and to feel supported without judgment. Offering advice before fully understanding the issue can make her feel that her emotions are trivialized or ignored. For instance, if a woman is upset about a difficult situation at work, the first thing she may want is not a lecture on how to handle it, but a space to express her frustrations. If the response is, well, why don't you just talk to your boss, or you should just work harder, it sends the message that her feelings are not valid or that she's not handling the situation the right way. On the other hand, if a man takes the time to listen and says, I can see why that would make you upset, or that sounds really frustrating, it creates an opportunity for her to feel understood. Empathy is about acknowledging her feelings. Even if you don't fully understand them or don't agree with the course of action she might choose. One of the most important aspects of empathizing with a woman's emotions is recognizing the difference between sympathy and empathy. Sympathy can often be seen as pity, where you feel sorry for someone but remain distant from their emotional experience. Empathy, however, involves deeply connecting with another person's feelings, trying to understand them from their perspective, and responding with compassion. It's easy to feel sorry for someone, but to truly empathize means to engage with them on a human level, to be present in their pain and to validate the emotions they are experiencing. This requires emotional intelligence, a willingness to pause, observe, and listen without judgment. When a woman expresses her emotions, it is essential not to jump to conclusions about what she needs or why she feels the way she does. Instead of assuming that she is overreacting or being overly sensitive, it is crucial to respect that her emotions are real and deserving of attention. A woman might be upset about a situation at work, a disagreement with a friend, or an ongoing personal challenge. Instead of trying to rationalize or minimize the emotions she is feeling, an empathetic person will offer a space for her to articulate her feelings freely. Empathizing with a woman's emotions also requires patience. Women are often taught to prioritize others' needs over their own and may not always feel comfortable expressing their feelings. This can be especially true in relationships where one partner may feel like they are burdening the other with their emotions. It takes time and trust for a woman to open up about what she's experiencing emotionally. Therefore, men must create a safe, non-judgmental space where she feels comfortable sharing her thoughts and feelings without fear of ridicule or dismissal. When a woman is given the time and space to speak her truth, it allows for deeper emotional intimacy and a stronger connection between partners. Part of this empathetic approach is recognizing the subtle signals that women may send when they are struggling emotionally. Sometimes a woman may not express her feelings directly. She may withdraw, become quiet, or exhibit signs of frustration or sadness. These nonverbal cues are often an invitation to connect, to ask how she's doing, and to show concern for her emotional well-being. A woman may not always vocalize her distress, but the empathetic partner will notice the change in her behavior and offer support accordingly. And it is also important to recognize that empathy does not mean fixing everything or solving the problem immediately. Sometimes the most compassionate response is simply being there with her, offering reassurance and understanding. A woman who is dealing with emotional pain does not always need the situation to be fixed right away. What she needs is to feel that someone cares, that someone understands the weight of her experience, and that she is not alone in her struggle. The role of empathy extends beyond personal relationships. It is critical in professional environments as well. In the workplace, women often face challenges that men may not fully comprehend. These challenges might include gender bias, unfair treatment, or the struggle to balance work and family responsibilities. Women may experience feelings of isolation, exhaustion, or frustration due to the constant pressures placed upon them. In these situations, it is essential for colleagues, particularly male colleagues, to empathize with their emotions. A simple acknowledgement such as, "I understand how hard that must be for you," can create an environment of support and help mitigate the emotional burden women often carry in these situations. Empathy also plays a vital role in romantic relationships. When a woman is emotionally invested in a relationship, her feelings are a reflection of her deep care and commitment. Therefore, when emotions arise, whether from a conflict or external stress, it's crucial for her partner to be there for her. Being empathetic means not only understanding her emotions, but also being proactive in supporting her emotional needs. This may involve having difficult conversations, offering comfort when she's sad, or celebrating with her during moments of joy. The empathetic partner does not view emotions as something to avoid or dismiss, but as an opportunity to connect, grow, and deepen the relationship. It is also important to recognize that emotional expression is a universal human need. It is not exclusive to women, but societal norms often place an undue burden on women to manage their emotional well-being while taking care of others. This can lead to emotional fatigue, burnout, and feelings of being misunderstood or undervalued. Men in particular need to understand that empathizing with women's emotions is not a sign of weakness. It is a strength. It shows that they are emotionally available, present, and willing to engage with their partner on a deep and meaningful level. By empathizing with a woman's emotions, men also gain the opportunity to better understand the world through her eyes. Women experience life from a different perspective, shaped by their unique emotional responses to situations. Understanding and respecting this difference in emotional experience can foster greater mutual respect and improve communication. Instead of seeing emotions as something to be managed or controlled, empathetic men will appreciate the richness of emotions and learn to respond in ways that nurture the relationship. Ultimately, empathizing with a woman's emotions strengthens the bond between partners, builds trust, and fosters a sense of mutual care and respect. It allows women to feel validated, understood, and supported in their emotional journeys. And it creates a more compassionate, connected world where women's feelings are treated with the respect they deserve, not only in moments of crisis, but throughout every interaction and relationship.